guys, welcome back to another week of Autastic, your comedian's guide to autism. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Kirk. I'm juiced up. I've been biking around the city, and I'm with my buddy
Graham K. I'm juiced up because I haven't left my house, and I have been drinking coffee all day. Jacked up in here. Jacked up in my apartment.
Nothing makes you strong like black coffee. You're ready to work out.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if you guys can hear this, but we're in the same place right now.
So nice. Less editing.
Yeah.
I don't remember whose turn it is, but if it's mine, I'm very happy.
It's my turn.
That is the worst part
Yeah.
of this lovely podcast that we're entering our 300th episode, or very close.
Yeah, we got to check.
Very
we,
close.
We stopped numbering them a while ago because they got
You
messed
stopped.
up.
I kept numbering them.
It's all messed up anyway.
No, it's not.
We're like missing 5 episodes in the number, and so it's like,
Is that true?
oh yeah.
This is your comedian's guide to autism, and
That's why we can't count, because we're two comedians. My name's Graham K. By the way, I have a brother with autism. He's got an adult son, and we live in Brooklyn. Although I am moving to Los Angeles, California, in October. I know.
Not a fan.
I know. It'll be good though. It'll be good.
Can't believe you forgot how much you hate it.
I'm gonna go. I know, but I'm gonna buy a car. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. With a car. That'll be exciting. I'm not going to have to... I go to fight inflation, I go to Trader Joe's because the prices have remained the same. And so I have to take the subway. I'm doing like shrugs. It's like a 5-minute walk to the
Trap
subway.
lifts, yeah, the whole way home.
5-minute trap workout. So...
Yeah, today is a day that... excuse me, you will not miss in New York City. There is... very humid. It's very humid. There was a little rain on the way over, and speaking of human beings and rain, terrible segue. How's Peter doing?
What? Peter, okay. We've had a big week.
Ooh,
We have had a big week. So about a month and change ago, just he basically has the same speech patterns. He sort of hovers around the same 5 topics.
being bullied.
And then, being bullied.
Simpsons references.
Teachers should change. Teachers are better now. Women are better now than they were in high school. And that's good. Brian Moore should not have smoked and kept a messy room. Simpsons references. I don't like watching The Simpsons anymore because they haven't aged, but he still watches them. And then he, did whatever Disney movie he's into, and that's about it. But he started being like, if I ever got a new job, Graham, I wouldn't work on the weekends because the buses don't run on the same schedule. They don't come as often on the weekends, especially on holidays. So I can't work on the weekends. And I was like, okay. So my brother...
You're not working at any point right now.
I know. A little backstory, if you don't remember. My brother is unemployed. He's been unemployed since the pandemic started. And so it's been 2 years now. And he calls me every day because I'm his only social interaction a lot of the days. I would say 3-4 days a week. I'm the only person he talks to. And yeah, he just hasn't been working. And so he starts saying that. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess. You probably should get a job anyway, but whatever, and then move on. And then a week ago, my mom is like, so did you hear about Peter? I go, what? He goes, yeah. I was reading one of his emails. This is my mother speaking. I don't read his emails very often because he writes them every day. And they're very hard to read. They're like very... He writes differently than he reads. Than he speaks, rather. Right? The way he speaks is a lot more... it's a lot easier to understand. And when he writes, he'll write like... He'll just add words. In my present house, I'm in my house. I'm now in my house. It's present time, 2022 in June of this wonderful year. That is great. all this extra stuff. You could just say in my house.
All right.
Anyway, in those weeds, there was like, he kind of hinted at having a job interview. And so my mother asked my brother, what's this about a job interview? And he goes, oh yeah, my job coach, let's say his name's Jim, took me to an interview at Costco, but I didn't like it. And I didn't want to, they were making me going to ask if I wanted to work on the weekends. I don't work on the weekends. And I'm
wait a minute. Like,
Costco's going to offer him a job, like 25, 30 hours a week, real money.
Now he's like, no, I don't work on the weekends.
He's like, I don't work on the weekends.
I've got a busy schedule doing what? Sailing boats? You don't do anything.
He's not doing anything. He's calling me. That's his job. And so my mom calls up the job coach. She goes, well, how come you didn't tell me? I could have coached him. I could have told him, you got to work on the week. We could have done something. And my mom was like, well, they're very liberal. They're like, he's his own person, and it's a violation or whatever. So we just leave it, let him do it. And then it's like, okay, well, now he doesn't have a job, and that job is gone. And apparently, and the job coach was like, I tried in the interview. He was like, the job coach was like, come on, but he can't work on the weekends. Like, I don't work on the weekends, all right? The buses don't run. What if there's the buses do run, but like, what, like every...
It's an hour late or whatever.
3-4 times a year, there is a long weekend holiday where the buses run...
a modified schedule,
like every half hour or every 45 minutes or something. That is instead of every 5 minutes. And my brother just won't have it. And he's like, I don't know. Listen, one thing Pete does, and they're like, he's just pleading with him in this interview. Come on, he's like, I don't work on the weekends. It's one thing I don't do. The bus schedule, absolutely. He goes, no. Listen, I don't want to hear it. No, he goes, I do not work on the weekends. The bus schedule. And that's it. And that's all we're going to talk about. That's it.
Well, that sounds like a disaster.
So it was an absolute disaster.
Unmitigated
disaster. And then, so I find out about it. My mom's like, can you work on him? I go, okay. I call him up. I go, what's this about Costco offering you a job? And he's like, Graham, he's like, was already ready. He was like, he just knew, and he got caught because he normally tells me everything about his life, and he's a little cagey. He knows. He's cagier than you think. He did not mention it because he knew I was going to give him crap about it. And he was like, he's like, no, look, the weekends, Graham, I don't want to, I do not want to discuss this anymore. And I think it's a done discussion because the buses do not work on the weekends. And I'm like, man, look, I understand that, but there are ways around it. We can get you a cab. We can get you an Uber. And an Uber, and he goes, what's that? I go, do you know what an Uber is? He goes, what's that? And I go, you on your phone, you you just type in where you want to go, and a car will come to where you are and pick you up and take you there. You don't even have to have money. The car will just, the app will tell you the special application on your phone, just like WhatsApp is an application, just like YouTube is an application. The special Uber app will tell you what the color of the car is, and what
plate,
and it'll show you when it's there, and it'll tell you when it's arrived, and it'll just take you there. And we can put it on Mom and Dad's credit card, or we can put it on my credit card, and it will just take you there only for the holidays. When he's like, what?
I'd like to have that interview back.
He's like, how do you spell this? And he's like, but Graham, I don't know. It seems like a lot of trouble. I'm like, look, I go, I pay for my apartment. Do you pay for your apartment? Mom and Dad give you money for your apartment. I have to pay for my apartment because I work. Everybody has to work. You have to work too. You have to work as much as you can. And I showed him my apartment. I pay for this. I pay for this. I pay for this because I work. What happens when Mom and Dad die and they can't give you any money anymore? I mean, he's going to have like a trust, but
but don't have
that's
to
our
say
little
that.
secret.
How do you spell trust?
Yeah.
Don't tell him yet.
And he's like, Oh, I don't know. I'm like, do you want to live on the street and be homeless and live in a tent?
It's a good argument.
And you'll have to eat garbage.
You said that?
Yeah.
These feel like scared straight tactics,
Yeah.
but I like it. You
Well,
know
I'm like,
down for
who's
this.
gonna? I live in New York. I'm gonna live in America. I'm gonna live in California, in Los Angeles, in California. I mean, it's too far. Who's
Do you
gonna?
want to eat garbage? Yes or no?
Yeah. He's like, oh my god, I gotta work. He's like, oh my god, I should not have said that in the interview. Oh my god. And I'm like, it's okay, it's okay,
There'll
it's
be
okay,
another one, yeah.
it's okay, Peter. There will be other ones, but we're gonna have to write your job coach back, your job coaches. And I want you to, when we get off this phone, write them back, and then when they'll get you hopefully another interview. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe not in 6 months, but you'll get another one, and then you'll take it. Even if your other job comes back before that, you can have 2 jobs and make more money. Or you can leave the other place.
Buy more DVD players.
You could yeah, just
and more
stack-
Windex.
Yeah, that's
more
right.
cleaning supplies.
That's right.
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Could launder the whole building.
So many Star Wars T-shirts and
That
Spider-Man
barely fit.
T-shirts. Yeah. No, he's getting better. He's okay, actually. He's lost like maybe 5 pounds or so. But he's definitely chubby, but he's been worse. Anyway.
I thought the issue was not that he's chubby, that he's buying the wrong size. Or maybe he's buying you the wrong size.
He's buying me tiny size. Anyway, but no, he is getting better sizes now. I was like a 2 year ago
I
problem.
know it's a 5-year-old podcast.
Yeah.
I have a good memory.
He's gotten bigger shirts now. He's
Good.
moved to X. We told him XL.
Yeah. It's fine
Because
to be
he was
XL.
like, he didn't realize he was gaining weight. So he's just like, I'm large. He's like, 22-year-old body. I'm large.
I wish I was 20-year-old body. Wow.
Well, he doesn't have a 22-year-old body. He's got a 36-year-old body.
I
And
would
he
kill
was
for a
buying large.
36-year-old body.
Yeah, me too, buddy. But anyway, so he writes back this email. And all of a sudden, I get a notification on my phone. I look at it. I'm tagged in I'm CC'd in this email. Well, he doesn't know how to CC. He just puts it all in the thing. And so are 25 other people.
Oh, no.
And it's full of gobbledygook. It's like barely decipherable. And so I go, like, they're not going to see it and go, oh, this is
I know what he's talking about.
saying that he can work on the weekends
Yep.
and I want a new thing. So over the phone, I'm like, we have to do an email just to those 2 people. Okay? And I go,
The 2 people meaning the job coach?
the job coach, the 2 job coaches. And the people who are like job coach and the person who finds the jobs. And I go, okay, I want your subject to read, I can work on the weekends. I can't remember if it was I changed my mind or I can work on the weekends. Something like, I think it was I can work on the weekends. And then I want you to write, I changed my mind. I was talking to my brother. He taught me about Uber and for special holidays, and so I don't have to use the bus, and I would like to work weekends, and thank you very much for helping me find a job. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, whatever. And he's like, okay, and I just hear like extra like him typing way more than I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, okay, and I am ready. And I'm like, okay, read it back to me. He's like, well, it's good. And I'm like, no, read it to me.
I like how he knows you're catching him and he like tries to trick you. That's
Yeah. And I'm like, turn the camera around on the WhatsApp so I can
There's
see.
no need.
So I could see the screen. And he's like, okay. And it's written on the subject, the body is empty. And he's reading it to me, and it's like, hello to 2 of your wonderful selves. I have decided, I have made
Change
a
my
great, wonderful new idea about present car times that I can take on the holidays that
It's just
like,
totally done whatever.
yeah, it's the same, like, it's
Indecipherable Faulkner kind of style.
250 words, and it should be 60. And anyway, so we pare that down. We get it, and he just really wants to write present time wonderful. And I'm like, no. And that was the whole thing. And
So wait,
I gave
when
him
you have
one.
this discussion, he goes, "What? It sounds better the way I'm saying," or what does he say?
Yes.
Okay.
He says, I think in his head, he doesn't say this, but it's like more formal. He's like, I think it sounds better.
More words is better.
Yeah. I did let him add a couple extra flour here and there.
You would have hated Hemingway. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And anywho, we got it. We fired it off. And then, lo and behold, the next day, I get a call from Peter. And he's like, really excited. He's like, I have an interview next week. So he's got an interview on Tuesday, folks.
Great.
Yeah.
Sam's Club? Who's it with this time?
I don't know. But we are excited. I don't know who it's with. He doesn't know.
Well, respectfully, he's probably not heard of a lot of these places. So even if they told him, he's probably doesn't like ring a bell, or he's like, "Oh, I've been there."
I think he would know.
He would know Sam's Club.
He would know Costco.
And he would know Costco. But if it's like,
I don't think we have Sam's Club in Canada.
I was just being silly. But you guys do have his Kmart, I believe, right? Oh, maybe it's Australia. So
no, we still. I think we've got a couple Kmart's kicking around still.
Yeah, and you know what you guys have that we don't have down here? A&W Root Beer is like a good restaurant up there.
Well, it's a upper crust McDonald's.
Yeah, but it's better than McDonald's.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
we don't have it down here.
A&W is good.
Yeah, here it's just soda.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I think there's a couple A&Ws in
I think
Buffalo,
there's like
New York.
2 in the whole country or something
Yeah.
like that. I'm not exaggerating.
But they're all over the place in Canada, and they're good.
Yeah, I went there, and you can have like an actual, I forget what it is, like a grilled chicken sandwich, and it was like, it tastes like food. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of glued.
No, and you can have
Pieces of chicken
you
together.
can have the root beer float in the glass thing still. It was like,
Yeah, they give you a glass thing,
Yeah.
a glass with root beer float. I mean, it still is like a McDonald's, but
bro, I feel like the quality was
the quality's better,
way
but it's
better.
not like it's not a
It's
restaurant.
not fine dining, but it's
Yeah.
it's as good as, what's fine dining here? I don't know. Five Guys, like, what's the top of the fast food chain? I feel like it's top of the fast food chain. Yeah, it's,
Five Guys, I'm gonna shock you right now, is not fine dining.
for fast food, what's the best fast food?
Well, I wouldn't call it fine dining.
I said fine dining fast food.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a subcategory.
Yeah, the subcategory. For
Five Guys be the top.
probably right. Of
Yeah.
fast food,
Yeah.
the bottom's got to be what? Jack in the Box.
White Castle, Jack in the Box.
White Castle always makes me sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
if you got a
excited
job in
about
one of those
Peter.
places, it would be good and bad.
Honestly, like, and
I'm worried about like getting diabetes if you work in one of those places.
if you could have whatever he wants.
Yeah, his sneaky little fingers. Yoink.
Although they only give you one meal for free. That's how it works.
Oh.
Yeah, I've worked at McDonald's.
Yeah. Okay. Every
but
day he's
he's-
gonna eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, one cheeseburger. I think he's eating more than one cheeseburger a day right now. Left to his own devices.
He's not going to McDonald's every day. He's going to McDonald's. We told him once a month. I think he's going twice a week. Yeah.
You know all right, last thing about this, but in the McDonald's in Australia, they do the Met Cafe started in Australia, and it's hard to get a bad cup of coffee in Australia. Everywhere has an espresso machine, like a good espresso machine,
Uh-huh.
like a $5,000 espresso machine in McDonald's.
Huh.
It's wild. But to change the subject back, I think it'd be great for like a big box store, because I was thinking about that for JJ.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of manual labor that has to be done, where it's like,
Yeah.
go get the carts, you can get carts for hours.
Peter would love to be the cart guy.
You know.
Oh, that'd be a great job for him.
Seriously, somebody has to go physically get the carts and run that little machine, and hopefully not bump into people. And yeah,
What machine?
well, usually there's like, if it's more than 10 carts, you got a little thing that helps you pull it.
No, it's fun. I think Peter would love that.
I think he'd be good at something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
JJ'd be good at that.
If we can figure, he'd have to. I don't think he could run the machine, but
No.
if it's just go get carts and don't get hit, maybe.
Would he know not to get hit?
That's the problem. It's like, I got my cart, just move it to the parking lot.
Mowing down.
Yeah, well, not
old
just that, but
ladies
it's like
in his
back
way.
into him. He's not looking at the other cars, just backing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, he does have your genes. He's probably very sturdy.
He is a very sturdy individual.
Yeah.
So when he gets hurt, like,
I mean, he could crush a Toyota Yaris.
I can imagine whenever he gets hurt, he goes, ouch,
Aw.
ouch.
Aw.
Like he wants acknowledgement, but he's not crying. Just ouch.
tough boy.
Yeah.
But that still breaks my
And
heart
then
a
I go,
little bit.
"Are you okay? Are you okay?"
That's what
and
he
I'm
said.
like, "Yeah," because we say that to him, so that's what he says back to us.
Yeah.
"Ooh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?" "Okay."
He is your son.
"Yeah,
That
are
is
you
for
okay?
sure.
Are you okay?" He's a funny little monkey. We had a fun call 2 days ago. I'm planning my trip out there to see him in 3 weeks. I'm going out there, and my mom's coming. My mom wants to go, so we're just trying to like talk about how his day goes, and then some days he's like I said, interested in talking, and some days he's just not. And I got a message. Yes, I'm getting my days mixed up. I think it was yesterday where it's like, um, we can't call you today. He's having his alone time or something. And I was trying to figure out, and so I'm messaging the lady. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's alone time. And it comes back, he's touching himself. That was the alone time. Like, we'd love to call you, but he's busy masturbating. Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. But he asks permission to do, which is kind of unusual.
It's funny. Why would he? He knows that it's.
Yeah, because we'd be like, not in public, because like
Well, he knows, but you've told him not in
yeah.
public.
So we catch him in public. I'm like, you can't do that. Can't. Don't touch your penis. Don't touch your penis. Don't touch your penis. It's like he gets excited. He's like, don't touch your penis.
You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, he's just like, and it's like, don't touch your penis. So now, then he'll be like, all right, go to his room. I'm acting out him acting like he's gonna touch his own penis. Or like put his hand down towards his.
He will.
groin. Yeah, he'll open his eyes. We'll let him go. And they'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Go. So then he'll go in his room and touch himself. Yeah.
Well, I think that's polite.
It's better than the alternative, which is the surprise touching yourself in public, which isn't great.
Well, I honestly think that's growth. I mean, not no, growth. I meant to say growth.
Well, it is growth in one
I meant
area.
to say growth. Honestly, it's
definitely growth in one area.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh boy. Okay. You're a bad comedian. I'm more insulted as a comedian.
Hey, come on.
No.
It's as clean as I can keep it.
Jeez. Get that smut out of here. I mean, honestly, that's like he's asking for consent. He's like, I don't want to. He's like, I know I'm not supposed to do this.
Well, I think he knows time and place. Start to learn time and place.
Mm-hmm. Which is something all young men learn.
Yes. You're allowed to do that. Not in the grocery store.
Yeah.
In aisle 6 next to the cereals because you're excited because we're getting the good cereal. Wait till we get home. Speaking of looking at computers for things, don't you have an article this week?
Another wonderful segue.
That one was rough too. I'm having a rough day. I got to be honest. I helped move a fridge today. I climbed in the fire escape because my apartment lock stopped working, and it's really hot. It's really taking a lot out of me. This humidity.
Yeah, I'm fine.
This might be the day you can beat me. Yeah, you haven't left your apartment yet.
I actually did. I had coffee with somebody earlier today.
Hey.
And but I always get a hot coffee, and my cutoff is for hot coffee is 80 degrees, and it was 78 degrees, so I got a hot coffee.
It's very mathematical.
Sat outside, hot coffee. Everyone thought I was insane. I was looking at all these weaklings with their iced coffee. These.
If anything, you're from Canada. This should be smothering to you.
You know what? This is partially why I like it so much is because I'm from Canada. Because our summers, although they are existent, are short.
Very.
So it's like Mardi Gras summer for us. It's like, it's July and August. That's our summer. And, all the Canadians listening are like, what about June? I'm like, June is rainy and 21 degrees Celsius, which is
what, 70?
69, 70 with wind and rain. Is that the summer? If you think that's the summer, you don't know what summer is.
But I do like when I go to Halifax in like November. Oh, we've got a hot day, and I'll be like 40 Fahrenheit, which is like, I don't know, 8.
Yeah.
Maybe a bunch of girls in tank tops and little shorts.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hot today.
Oh, if it's 50? Well, they don't think it's hot. They just think for
It's such a
November.
nice day. Well, they will say it's like
Nice.
it's a really nice
Yeah.
day. It's a beautiful day. I'm like, it's still 40. It's like,
Yeah.
and especially like in March, when like they'll have a one nice day or
Yeah,
April.
we have a bit of Stockholm syndrome. And so I am released from that. I mean, it is warmer here, and I enjoy the long, hot summer. I've always liked a hot summer. I've always liked summer. I just like it.
Should move to Brazil or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where you're going next after LA.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So speaking of Brazil,
You're doing my segues now.
this is from this is in the news. Do you still do that when you edit it?
I do. I know you don't.
I don't.
But
I think it's silly.
no. It adds value.
I don't think
to
it
the
does.
product.
The value, no one's paying for this pod.
That's a good point.
Oh, by the way, we got a new. Someone emailed us, and we have a new Patreon.
Two.
One
from Canada, if you can believe it. I know.
That was a lovely email, by the way.
It was very nice. Which one? The email about the...
I only got one email.
I was in the urban cruises, that one where I said that?
Oh, that was the other one.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah. When you said urban cruises, I was like, come on, man. We don't need to use coded language here. What are we doing?
I didn't think it's insulting. That's...
Okay. Anyway, we got the other woman who had, I don't want to say her name, but very much appreciate the email and saying that she just found the podcast and binged because she needed a resource that was more lighthearted and dealt with reality, and it's exactly why we made this podcast. So it's like very affirming to hear someone get it.
The PS was painful, though. And she's like, you're missing 5 episodes. I'm like, I don't think that's right. I think they're all there.
What do you mean? Oh.
It's a callback to earlier. You said we missed number 5.
Yeah. All right, this is from Fortune magazine. Private equity is the biggest player in booming autism therapy industry. Some therapists say the money grab is hurting the quality of care. Interesting, I thought to myself when I read this title. When Hopebridge, a nationwide chain, not a good start for me.
You're struggling.
Yeah.
You wanted to read it. I allowed it. I encouraged it.
When Hopebridge, a nationwide chain of autism therapy centers, opened a branch in Athens, Georgia in the fall of 2020, Sarah counted herself lucky. She began sending her 5-year-old daughter, Zoe, there almost immediately. True, the 40-hour-per-week program required strict on-time attendance. Zoe could lose her spot after just a few tardies, but it seemed that Sarah had finally found safe, quality insurance-covered care for her daughter. Awesome. Hopebridge is a private equity-owned enterprise, and the Athens branch was part of an investor-fueled wave of expansion that would more than double its size in less than 3 years. And Sarah was initially impressed with what Hopebridge offered. She was reassured by what seemed like good communication. She met regularly with board-certified behavior analyst who oversaw her daughter's care and coached Sarah in bi-weekly parent training sessions. And she appreciated the BCBA's responsiveness to her frequent emails. Sarah also came to completely trust the therapist who worked with her daughter every day. Over the course of 15 months, they helped Zoe reach life-bettering milestones. Zoe, who is nonverbal, became more capable of using her communication device, a tablet that displays rows of images she can press to convey her needs and feelings. She also became potty trained. 2 huge steps, I would say.
One better than the other, I would say.
Yeah, as someone in the know.
Someone's changed a lot of diapers, yes.
But this way, Sarah got a call. But this May, Sarah got a call from Kay Murphy, one of Zoe's former Hopebridge therapists. The woman had worked with Zoe for 4 hours each day until around Christmas time 2021, when she abruptly disappeared. Now, over the phone, Kay shared some disturbing information. In October 2021, she had witnessed another one of Zoe's therapists yell at Zoe and violently yank the girl off the floor when she was having a tantrum. The incident and Zoe's fearful reaction shook Kay, and that afternoon she had reported it as abuse to the center manager. In the time since, Kay explained, she had been fired. The center manager to whom she had reported the incident had left the company and been replaced, Kirk. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, this brings up an interesting issue, right? Because I feel like...
There's more to the article, by the way. You can check it out at Fortune if you want. But We got to go.
I just think we're at 30 minutes, but so we're going to wrap up. But I do think it's interesting that it's good that there's finally funding. Basically they're saying there's a money grab trying to happen, which there couldn't be a money grab 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
And if it's all private, there's no overseeing.
There's less oversight.
And if you complain, it hurts the product. So it's like, they're not unionized, and so they can't complain or else they'll get fired, and it's just,
It brings up a lot of tough situations. As always, we're always curious to hear from you about your own personal situations around therapy, who you use, how you vet people, how you vet providers.
Yeah, we can relay that information. If you want to email us, or find us on social media and write us, and let us know, and we can relay that. We can talk about it over the air and help out other parents who listen to this podcast, because finding as Kirk knows, his son, he had to go all the way to Sweden. It's tough to find someone to take care.
Finding good care is always very complicated, especially when especially when it's cost constrictive, meaning like you don't have unlimited.
And this is covered by her therapy, so she's like, oh, great.
It's different if you've got insurance or private money, it's just a different experience. Well, did we do it?
I think we did it.
I think we did it. Guys, I am in New York City all these next 2 weeks doing shows all over the place. The Village. I will post today on my Instagram. If you are interested in coming out to see a live show, as always, keep an eye on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Kirk Smith Comedy. I'm starting a new mailing list to do. Keep your ears peeled for that. Eyes peeled, ears open for that. A new mailing list to do a nationwide tour I'm hoping to put together if I can figure this out.
Email Kirk. Give him your email.
KirkSmithComedy@gmail.com. And
get on the mailing list.
Get on the list.
That's how comics make our money, is touring, obviously. But if you're not famous, Kirk and I might shock you to find out, not famous. Comedy clubs will not hire us because we can't put butts in the seats. But if we can guarantee that we'll put a certain amount of butts in the seats, then they will hire us.
It's that simple.
So if we get a mailing list, and we can go, okay, I know that I can get at least 50 people in San Francisco or 100 people in San Francisco, then we'll have a much better chance of being able to go there. Because people always go, why don't you come to so-and-so place? And it's like, nobody will let me go. Nobody wants me to go. I can't just stand on a street corner.
Yeah.
So
you need a venue to perform in.
Yeah.
Ideally. And fans or people in the audience to listen to the jokes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not even sure it's stand-up if there's nobody laughing. It's just a speech.
Which is what your comedy has been described as, I believe.
A sad speech?
Yeah. So anyway, folks, speaking of sad speeches, I'm going to be at the Looney Bin in Tulsa, Oklahoma, August 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm also going to be at the Looney Bin in Oklahoma City, August 11, 12, and 13. 11, 12, and 13. So I'm working on a couple things, and I'm working on doing a autism one-man show about growing up with a brother who has autism, and I'm going to be workshopping some new stuff, and it's basically a year-long process that I'm starting more or less right now. So it won't all be that material, but I can guarantee that 20 minutes of it will be about autism out of the 45 minutes I'm doing. So
it's a sizable show.
Yeah. And as always, find me on Mr. Graham K on Instagram and Twitter, and you can email me at grahamkcomic if you want to tell me how much you love me.
If you hate him, then email danecook@gmail.com.
Yep.
Have a great week, guys. You can do it.